There exists a land where, when sunlight falls, it brings not only brightness but also the echo of gongs resonating from deep within the forest, the warm aroma of fermented rice wine floating through the air, and the joyful laughter rising around the night's fire. That is the homeland of the Mnong, an ethnic minority living mainly in Vietnam's central highlands, where nature is generous and culture permeates every breath of life. The Mnong are one of Vietnam's 54 officially recognized ethnic groups. They primarily reside in provinces such as Duc Nong, Duc Luc, Lâm Dong, and parts of Binh Phuoc. A portion of the Mnong population also lives near the Cambodian border. Today, there are over 130,000 Mnong people, according to recent statistics, including subgroups such as the Mnong Gar, Mnong Nong, Mnong Chil, Mnong Prey, and Mnong Lam. The Mnong live amidst rolling mountains, lush green plateaus, and majestic waterfalls. Their lives are deeply entwined with nature, from hillside farms and flowing streams to wild animals, forest plants, and the sky above. In the native language, the word Mnong is believed to mean the people of the mountains, or those who live in the forested highlands. According to Mnong legends, their ancestors were the first to inhabit the deep forests, guided by the spirits of mountains and streams who taught them how to grow rice, hunt animals, and live in harmony with nature. These tales, passed down orally through generations, reveal the sacred bond and reverence the Mnong people have for the natural world. Unlike bustling cities, a Mnong village is typically small, nestled among hills or forest edges near a water source. At its center stands the Longhouse, a communal house built of bamboo, forest wood, and thatched roofing. It is the beating heart of the village, where important rituals take place, village meetings are held, and shared activities unfold. The Mnong don't just live next to each other, they live for one another. When someone falls ill, the entire village comes to visit. During harvest season, everyone lends a hand naturally, without needing to be asked. This sense of solidarity and communal care is an essential thread in the cultural fabric of Mnong life. Amidst the vast central highlands, where the wind whispers through the trees like ancestral voices, the Mnong people preserve their traditional customs, especially their marriage rituals, where love is not just a personal emotion, but a sacred thread that connects families, communities, and spiritual beliefs. For the Mnong, marriage is not simply about two individuals falling in love and becoming husband and wife. It is a union of two families, two lineages, and more broadly, a significant event for the entire village. Such a union cannot happen hastily. It requires time, careful preparation, and sacred rituals to ensure blessings from the ancestors and divine spirits for a prosperous life ahead. The Mnong traditionally follow a matrilineal system. In many subgroups, it is the woman's family that takes the initiative in proposing marriage. A respected matchmaker is usually appointed to approach the groom's family, expressing their wish to arrange the marriage and discussing matters such as the bride price, wedding date, and ceremonial offerings. However, this matrilineal custom is not universal across all Mnong groups. For example, the Mnong Gar follow a patrilineal system where the bride joins the groom's household instead. The Mnong bride price sinler can be quite elaborate. It may include buffaloes, cows, pigs, bronze gongs, jars of rice wine, hand-woven cloth, and more. These offerings carry not only material value but also deep symbolic meaning. The wine jars represent unity and festivity. The gongs signify family prestige, and livestock reflects the wealth and abundance of the new household. At grand weddings, The bride's family might offer up to 3 buffaloes and 7 precious jars of rice wine, but this should not be seen as a transactional exchange. To the Mnong, the bride price is a heartfelt tribute of respect from one family to another, a gesture of sincere intent for a lasting and harmonious marriage. A Mnong wedding usually lasts 1 to 3 days. The first day features the main ceremony, attended by both families, the village shaman, and community elders. The couple pays tribute to their ancestors, presents offerings, performs blessing rituals, and drinks from the same jar of rurkon, fermented rice wine, a symbolic act marking their official union. What makes Mnong weddings especially lively are the traditional gong dances and folk songs performed by the villagers themselves. Everyone eats, drinks, sings, and celebrates together, because in Mnong culture, a wedding is not just the joy of 2 families but a communal event for all to share. In matrilineal Mnong communities, the groom traditionally moves into the bride's household. There, he lives with his wife, helps with farming, raises children, and cares for his in-laws as his own parents. Eventually, if conditions allow, the couple may establish their own home. In contrast, patrilineal Mnong groups such as the Mnong Gar or Mnong Prey follow a system where the bride moves to live with the groom's family, similar to customs found in many Vietnamese king communities. Regardless of lineage system, harmony, mutual respect, and shared responsibilities are always emphasized in married life. The Mnong deeply value family, seeing it as the foundation for cultural preservation and the upbringing of future generations. Divorce is not forbidden among the Mnong, but it is not taken lightly either. If a couple wishes to separate, they must inform both families and consult the village shaman to seek guidance from the ancestors. Community elders are also involved to ensure the decision does not harm the relationships between clans. If divorce is agreed upon, the couple's assets are divided fairly, and child custody arrangements are clearly defined. However, the ultimate goal is to ensure a peaceful process that maintains harmony within the community and extended family. In today's rapidly modernizing world, many ethnic minority groups have gradually adapted to urban lifestyles. Yet, in the heart of Vietnam's Central Highlands, the Mnong people still preserve their humble way of life closely connected to nature and their community. This connection is vividly reflected in how they dress, eat, and live their daily lives, each act steeped in unique cultural expression. The traditional attire of Mnong women includes a long wraparound skirt reaching the calves, paired with a snug, short-sleeved blouse. These garments are hand-woven on simple looms using cotton or dyed indigo threads. Their intricate geometric motifs, waves, suns, flowers, animals each carry symbolic meaning tied to the Mnong's folklore and spiritual beliefs. Primary colors include black, indigo blue, reddish brown, often accented with white or turmeric yellow borders. During festivals, the garments become even more vibrant, showcasing the artistry and refinement of Mnong women. Mnong men wear loincloths and pullover shirts. Though simple, their attire reflects their age, social status, and role in the community. Elder men often don a traditional headscarf or a woven shawl embroidered with ethnic motifs. Both men and women accessorize with jewelry made from copper, silver, shells, or forest seeds necklaces, bracelets, and earrings. These are not mere ornaments, but carry spiritual value, symbols of connection to ancestors, nature, and protective deities. The Mnong culinary tradition is infused with the soul of the forest. Living close to nature, they rely heavily on what the hills, fields, and rivers provide. Each meal is not just a combination of salty, sweet, and spicy, but a slow-living ritual deeply grateful for every grain of rice, every stream fish, every forest herb. Calm lamb rice cooked in bamboo tubes is a staple. Rice is washed, mixed with salt and shredded coconut, if available, packed into young bamboo tubes, sealed with banana leaves, and roasted over charcoal. The smoky aroma of bamboo mingling with the rice creates an unmistakable flavor. Accompanying the rice are dishes made from forest vegetables, pumpkin, bamboo shoots, bitter eggplant, often boiled, grilled, or cooked into soups with stream fish. Meats like bamboo grilled pork or forest herb-wrapped chicken are also common during feasts. No mention of Mnong culture is complete without rulkun, a traditional fermented rice wine. Brewed in large clay jars using glutinous rice, cassava, or corn mixed with forest herbs, this wine is drunk communally. People gather around the jar, each sipping through a long bamboo straw while talking, laughing, and singing. Rulkun is not just a drink, it's a cultural bridge, a witness to all major life events, weddings, harvest festivals, soul-calling rituals. Whether friend or stranger, being invited to sip this wine in a Mnong village means you've been welcomed as one of their own. A typical Mnong day begins at dawn. As mist still clings to the hills and roosters echo through the valleys, elders and youth prepare baskets, machetes, and hoes for the day's work in the fields. Men take on heavy tasks clearing land, setting traps, hunting, while women tend the crops, fetch water, and gather forest greens. Mnong agriculture revolves around slash and burn farming on the hillsides. They grow upland rice, corn, sweet potatoes, beans, pumpkins. Though labor-intensive, farming is also a family affair where life skills are passed down from parents to children through shared effort. As the sun dips behind the hills, families gather around the central hearth. This is the heart of Mnong, life where mothers cook, fathers repair tools, children share school stories, and grandparents tell ancient tales. The crackling of the fire blends with laughter, creating a deeply cozy atmosphere. These fireside tales are more than entertainment. They are the Mnong's traditional school. Here, children learn about their ancestors, tribal customs, moral values, and the love for Naturian oral heritage, passed from heart to heart, generation after generation. Amid the vast green forests and the resonant echoes of gongs rolling across the mountains, the Mnong people live quietly within a world deeply imbued with spirituality. To them, the universe is not solely populated by humans but also by deities, ancestors, spirits, and invisible beings residing in rivers, mountains, and ancient trees. This enduring belief system permeates every ritual, daily habit, and even thought of the Mnong people. The Mnong do not follow a formalized religion with scriptures, temples, or prophets. Instead, their belief system is rooted in folk spirituality, polytheism. In their worldview, everything has a soul. Rocks, streams, towering trees, the tiger in the forest, even a gong, is believed to possess its own spirit. Ancestors in particular hold the most sacred presence. They are not viewed as distant or gone, but rather as quietly seated near the family hearth, watching over and protecting their descendants. As such, all significant life events, marriages, house building, harvest, festivals must be reported to the ancestors, asking for their blessing and presence. The Mnong spiritual system includes numerous deities, each presiding over a different aspect of nature or life. Yang Ara, the sky god, supreme creator, source of all life. Yang Dak, the water god who grants timely rains and fertile crops. Yang Fire, the fire god, protector of the family hearth and banisher of evil spirits. Yang Rung, the forest god, guardian of wildlife and forest spirits. Each deity is believed to have a distinct temperament. Benevolent gods bestow blessings, while hot-tempered ones bring punishment. That's why the Mnong tread carefully in the forest when fishing, chopping trees, or hunting. Any disrespect toward the forest is considered an offense to the spirits, with serious consequences. One of the most important rituals among the Mnong is the new rice ceremonial offering of gratitude to the earth, the rice spirit, and the ancestors at the end of the harvest season. This event typically takes place in late autumn or early dry season. The whole village gathers to prepare offerings: komlam bamboo, cooked rice, grilled meat, ruor kon, communal rice wine, and prized ceramic jars. The first sheaves of the new rice crop are placed respectfully on the altar. The village shaman, Pueblo, recites prayers of thanks to the rice spirit and petitions for good weather, health, and prosperity in the coming year. After the formal rites, the celebration begins drinking, dancing the zhuang, and playing gongs late into the night. It's not just a party, but a vital moment of cultural preservation and community bonding. When someone suffers a prolonged illness, the Mnong believe their soul has strayed, either detained by forest spirits or lost in the afterlife. To heal them, the family invites a shaman to perform the Tondonga solemn soul-summoning ritual. The shaman uses specific ritual items: a live chicken, a handful of rice, a bowl of water, and a young branch. Amid the rising and falling sound of gongs, he chants to call the soul back. If successful, the person recovers. If not, further sacrificial offerings may be made to atone or persuade the spirits. When a family builds a new home, they do not move in right away. The first step is to hold a blessing ceremony. The Mnong believe that each plot of land and even each wooden post houses a protective spirit. Without proper permission and gratitude, misfortunes may follow. The ritual takes place by the hearth, with offerings including ruolkan, chicken meat, sticky rice, and sacred objects like a ceremonial chopstick or hand-woven cloth. Afterward, neighbors are invited to join in the meal and celebration, because a new home is not just a personal milestone, but a contribution to the broader community. The Mnong hold a deep belief that the dead never truly depart from this world. They reside in a parallel realm with whom the living can still communicate, request guidance, and offer gratitude. Mnong households often maintain an ancestor altar, sometimes as simple as a decorated clay jar draped with a red cloth and adorned with symbolic offerings. On death anniversaries, families prepare ritual meals, call out the names of the deceased, and invite them to share a meal with the living. The deceased are buried in the forest, and grave sites are marked by spirit house small wooden structures carved with images of elephants, birds, or people dancing. These houses are meant to give the soul a place to dwell, so it does not wander or return to trouble the living. If you ever find yourself in a Mnong village on a festival night, you will hear a sound unlike any other. The echo of gongs resounding through the night, as if carried from the very heart of the mountains. Deep, solemn, yet achingly beautiful, this sound is more than music. For the Mnong, the gong is not merely an instrument, it is the soul of their culture. A bridge connecting past and present, human and divine. Like many other ethnic groups in the central highlands of Vietnam, the Mnong revere the gong as a living entity. They believe each gong possesses its own spirit, bestowed by the gods. Playing the gong is therefore an act of sacred communion, requiring reverence and ritual. Not everyone is allowed to play the gong. A gong player must learn to communicate with the instrument, to understand its voice, to master the rhythm and spirit of the ceremony. Before major rituals such as the new rice festival or weddings, gong players often purify themselves bathing, fasting, or abstaining to maintain a pure mind and clean spirit. A mongong ensemble typically consists of 6 to 12 gongs, each producing a distinct tone ranging from high-pitched to deep resonance. Among them are ancient gongs considered sacred heirlooms used only on special occasions. These prized instruments are often kept high above the hearth or stored in ceremonial jars to protect their spirits. The Mnong play different gong compositions depending on the ceremony. Gongs for the new rice festival are lively and joyous, mimicking the sound of rice grains falling into a basket. Gongs for soul-calling rituals are slow and solemn, like distant echoes from the spirit world. Wedding gongs are melodious and flowing like a love song in the forest. Beyond festivals, gongs accompany daily life events, house construction, the clearing of new fields, and funerals. Each occasion evokes a different emotional melody woven into the fabric of life. Gongs are inseparable from the Zhuang Dansa signature circular dance of the Mnong. Under the flickering light of the fire, villagers hold hands in a large circle, stepping in unison. Every movement, every sway or clap aligns with the gong's rhythm. Zhuang doesn't require elaborate training, it comes naturally, born of heartbeat, breath, and emotion. Children dance with instinct. Adults dance with memory. Every movement reflects harmony between individuals and between people and the cosmos. When the shaman joins the dance, adorned with a feathered headdress and holding a sacred staff, he dances as if speaking with the gods. In that moment, the world seems to pause, leaving only the resonating gongs and the rhythmic footsteps on the red basalt earth. The Mnong possess a unique form of oral tradition, tong, or epic singing. These lengthy narrative songs can last for hours or even days and recount the origin of the Mnong people, heroic ancestors, sacred love stories, or epic battles against wild beasts. Epic singers are often village elders or those with exceptional memory, a powerful voice, and deep understanding of their community's history. Each song is a puzzle piece in the cultural mosaic of the Mnong, where history is not written but sung and remembered. These songs are performed during major communal events, village festivals, harvest rituals, and rain-invoking ceremonies. Villagers gather around the fire, eyes shimmering in the firelight, listening in reverent silence as the past comes alive in song. Today, even though Mnong gong culture has been recognized by UNESCO as part of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity, together with the broader gong cultural space of the Central Highlands, its preservation remains a pressing challenge. Modern life has drawn Mnong youth away from their villages towards schools and cities, leaving fewer who know how to play the gong or recite the epic songs. Some sacred gongs have been sold or damaged from lack of proper care. Yet, hope endures. Many artisans, elders, and cultural leaders are organizing teaching sessions. Gong festivals are being revived not merely as performances, but as living classrooms for younger generations. Because the Mnong understand one profound truth: to lose the gong is to lose a part of their soul. When we think of education, we often picture classrooms, blackboards, and chalk. But for the Mnong Papala, community deeply rooted in the mountains and forests knowledge is not confined to four walls. Instead, it exists vibrantly in everyday life. Every story told, every trip to the fields, every evening around the fire becomes a classroom where children grow up with practical experience, moral lessons, and love for their heritage. Long before formal education reached the Mnong, they had their own system of traditional learning, one rooted in observation, experience, and oral transmission. From an early age, Mnong children followed their parents to the fields, forests, and rivers. Without textbooks or blackboards, they learn to pick the best cassava roots, distinguish poisonous leaves, tie animal traps, or track wildlife by footprints. These are lessons of survival real and deeply connected to daily life. There are no formal teachers, yet everyone is a mentor. Mothers teach daughters to weave, light fires, and cook bamboo rice. Fathers teach sons to forge knives, carve wood, and build traps. Grandparents pass down legends, fairy tales, and life advice through stories. No Mnong child grows up without memorizing at least a few traditional tales. At night, as the fire glows warmly, families gather and stories are told softly, but with deep resonance. These tales, called Due by the Mnong, include myths, epics, folklore, and moral parables. Through them, children learn courage, through heroes like Dam Noi, who face tigers to protect his village. Honesty, from the tale of a son who told the truth even when tested by the forest spirit. Love for nature, from the story of an elephant that cried when the forest was destroyed. More than entertainment, these stories form a moral foundation and a rich store of folk knowledge of the cosmos, plants, animals, and customary law, where elders embed their wisdom for future generations. Beyond family storytelling, the Mnong have an unwritten code, customary law, passed down through generations. Each village has a respected elder, Polo, who understands these laws and arbitrates community disputes. Children are taught from a young age that stealing is wrong, trespassing on someone else's field brings penalties, and disrespecting elders results in communal shame. Discipline isn't enforced through violence, but through the judgment of the community, a characteristic of matrilineal and democratic societies. When a child makes a mistake, they are not scolded in isolation. The village gathers, and the elder explains the wrongdoing with clarity and calm. Punishment is gentle but impactful, emphasizing not only consequences but also preserving the family's honor. Today, many Mnong children attend schools like those of other ethnic groups. The government has built schools in remote areas, and teachers both kin and minority ethnic are sent to villages to provide education. However, challenges persist. Children often walk hours through forests to reach school. Language barriers hinder learning, as Mnong children typically speak only their native tongue in early childhood. Some families prefer that children stay home to help with farming instead of pursuing formal education. Despite these obstacles, shining examples remain, like little Hemming, who walks 7 kilometers daily to school, or Wainam, who earned a full scholarship to study in the city. These stories bring hope that modern knowledge won't erase traditional culture, but will help preserve and strengthen it. Modern education is the path for the Mnong to integrate with the world. Yet, the key is not to trade tradition for progress. Many Mnong educators now teach both Vietnamese and Mnong languages, combining literacy lessons with traditional storytelling, and encouraging students to study while also learning to weave, play gongs, and preserve their culture. Some villages have started community classrooms where elders tell stories to teenagers, teaching them how to cook bamboo rice, brew rice wine, and build stilt houses. These hybrid spaces blend ancient and modern learning, a harmonious and sustainable educational model. In a rapidly changing world shaped by machines, urbanization, and technology, the Mnong people continue to live a modest life, deeply connected to nature and grounded in their own diligent labor. Their traditional economy may not be glamorous or loud, but it carries a unique sense of sustainability, like an underground stream, quietly nourishing the deep forest. For generations, swidden farming, shifting cultivation, has been the main livelihood of the Mnong people. On the hillsides, They cultivate cleared plots in rotation after a few seasons. The land is left to rest and regenerate, allowing the forest to reclaim it. This traditional method helps conserve the soil and maintain the natural ecosystem. The Mnong primarily grow upland rice, as well as corn, sweet potatoes, beans, gourds, sugarcane, and cotton. They rarely use chemical fertilizers or machines. Every task from clearing land, planting seeds, to harvesting is done by hand. Each crop cycle is more than just farming. It is a spiritual journey. Before sowing, rituals are held to ask permission from the land and forest. After harvest, Thanksgiving ceremonies are offered to the rice spirit. For the Mnong, farming is not only about survival, but also about gratitude toward nature. Alongside farming, the Mnong raise buffaloes, cows, pigs, chickens, and ducks. But unlike many places where livestock is simply food, the Mnong view buffaloes and cows as precious asset symbols of wealth, family honor, and essential offerings in major ceremonies like weddings, village festivals, or gratitude rituals. A white buffalo strong and unblemished shade is considered sacred. It may be offered to the gods during solemn sacrificial rites, seen as a sacred act of communication with the supernatural world. Pigs and chickens are usually raised freely and used for daily meals or ritual feasts. Even these modest acts of slaughter and cooking must follow traditional rules, never done carelessly, never without respect. Weaving and basket making are two traditional crafts that vividly showcase Mnong artistry and dexterity. Basketry. Typically performed by men, this includes crafting backpacks, baskets, winnowing trays, sieves, and fish traps from bamboo and rattan. Each item is not only durable but also adorned with distinct geometric patterns. Weaving. Mnong women breathe life into fabric. From growing cotton, spinning thread, dyeing with indigo to hand-weaving textiles, every step is manual. They produce skirts, shirts, shawls, and cloaks with intricate motifs that symbolize cultural icons like the sun, mountain flowers, or flowing streams. Today, many Mnong handicrafts are marketed as popular souvenirs in tourism. However, the core value remains: preserving cultural identity over commercial gain. The Mnong have long mastered hunting and gathering. They set traps for small animals like porcupines, civets, and squirrels. They catch fish using nets, bamboo baskets, or traps in forest streams. These forest forays can last several days, but the Mnong never overhunt. They take only what is needed, ensuring nature has time to recover. Wild vegetables such as labep, rautobe, wild herbs, bamboo shoots, mushrooms, and bitter eggplant are staple ingredients. Medicinal herbs like polycius root, croton leaf, or wild turmeric are used in traditional remedies. Collecting forest honey is a revered skill requiring bravery, delicacy, and deep ecological knowledge. Honey is not just a food source but also a precious gift, ceremonial item, and folk medicine. A defining trait of the Mnong economy is its high level of communal cooperation. When a household faces hardship, crop failure, fire, or illness, the entire village contributes rice, labor, or materials to support them. No one is left behind. They also hold communal work days, during which all young people come together to build communal houses, repair roads, or maintain water sources. Everyone contributes, expecting no reward, as this is both duty and a source of pride. Today, the Mnong economic life is undergoing transitions. Some families have adopted high-tech agriculture, cultivating crops like coffee, pepper, and cashews. Others engage in community-based tourism, opening homestays and showcasing their culture to visitors from around the world. Yet, concerns remain. deforestation, shrinking farmland, and youth migration threaten traditional ways of life. Many crafts are fading, with fewer young people inheriting the skills of their elders. Still, hope persists. Mnong cooperatives are emerging, vocational training programs and traditional craft revival projects are taking root. The fusion of modern knowledge and indigenous wisdom is breathing new life into Mnong economics, fostering growth without losing identity. If there is one thing that makes the Mnong people always radiant, vibrant, and full of emotion, it is their traditional festivals. Amid the jubilant sounds of gongs, the warm aroma of ruokon, fermented rice wine, and the brilliant colors of traditional attire, the Mnong organize festivals as a way to reaffirm their identity, strengthen communal ties, and nurture a deeply spiritual life. For the Mnong, a festival is more than a celebration or a break from daily life. Each event is closely tied to nature, the human life cycle, and the spiritual connections between humans, the forest, ancestors, and deities. Throughout the year, Mnong villages host various ceremonies, some small, some grand depending on agricultural cycles, community events, or spiritual needs. Among the most important festivals are the New Rice Festival, Wat Duk, the Village Spirits Ceremony, Tamblang, the Buffalo Sacrifice Ritual, Ningku. At the end of the harvest season, once the granaries are full, the Mnong celebrate the New Rice Festival to express gratitude to the rice spirit for a bountiful crop. It usually takes place at the end of the dry season or early spring. Offerings include komlam, bamboo cooked rice made from the first grains, pork, chicken, stream fish, forest bamboo, shoots and, of course, fragrant jars of ruokon. The Po asterisk, shaman, leads the ceremony, inviting the rice spirit to join the feast and praying for favorable weather in the coming year. After the ritual comes the celebration, communal dancing, gong playing, and circle dances around the fire that often last through the night. What is especially touching is the spirit of contribution. Those with chickens bring chickens, those with wine bring wine, creating a shared feast that bridges all social and economic gaps. Each Mnong village worships a protective village deity called Yangblang, who is believed to shield the community from calamities, illness, and wild beasts. Annually, the community holds a ceremony to honor and thank Yangblang and to pray for peace in the year ahead. The ritual typically takes place at a sacred tree, a forest shrine, or a traditional altar with stone pillars or Courtenay bamboo poles with symbolic decorations. Offerings include a buffalo, pigs, chickens, and jars of rice wine. The Polo, shaman, presides over the ceremony, offering prayers and performing ritual sacrifice if needed. After the sacred part comes the village fair, rice-pounding competitions, jong dances, and folk games like stick pushing, stilt walking, and shuttlecock tossing. Children laugh freely, adults drink cheerfully. Elders tell old stories very one beats in rhythm with the village's heart. The Ningku ritual is one of the Mnong people's most sacred ceremonies. It is not held annually, but only during important events. Building a communal house, invoking rain, warding off disease, or giving thanks after a significant event. The ceremony takes place in the village yard. A healthy, flawless buffalo, usually white or shiny black, is chosen with care. Before the sacrifice, the buffalo is bathed and tied to a ceremonial pole, honored as a messenger between the people and the divine. The shaman then prays and asks for the deity's permission. When the sacrifice takes place, the gongs erupt in rhythm. This is not a brutal act, but a sacred offering in expression of respect and devotion to the spiritual world. Mnong festivals are where every aspect of their cultural identity comes alive. Music. Powerful gongs, drums, flutes, and bamboo mouth organs accompany every ritual and dance. Group shuang dances, solo ceremonial dances by shamans, and stylized movements that mimic forest elephants or birds in flight. Costume. Everyone wears hand-woven traditional clothes, silver and bronze jewelry, and wrapped headscarves. Cuisine. From roer corn and com lamb to spicy eggplant soup, forest grilled meat, and sour bamboo shoots with stream fish. Festivals help the Mnong people reconnect with their roots, teach the younger generation to cherish their heritage, and serve as homecomings for those far away. For visitors, these are vibrant windows into the very soul of Mnong culture. Today, some Mnong festivals are held alongside community-based tourism efforts. This brings opportunities to share their culture widely, earn income, and preserve traditions. But the essential spirit must be respected. Festivals must not be reduced to staged spectacles. Because these events are not meant just to be watched, but to be lived, felt with all five senses, and understood through the heart. Beneath the lush green mountains and vast primeval forests, Mnong villages are gradually changing. Concrete roads now reach remote hamlets. Children carry school bags to class. Adults use smartphones and social media, and many households have learned how to offer community-based tourism or sell their handcrafted goods on e-commerce platforms. Yet, a pressing question arises. How can the Mnong integrate without dissolving? There is no denying that the wave of modernization has reached the Mnong. From the first households owning motorbikes and TVs to internet access spreading across the region, people have begun adapting to technology. Mnong youth are now pursuing vocational training and higher education, with many becoming engineers, teachers, or local officials. Some Mnong villages have launched homestays, welcoming tourists to experience their culture. Hand-woven textiles, bamboo baskets, rukon, fermented rice wine, wild honey, all are now beautifully packaged and sold online. These advancements are helping the Mnong escape poverty, improve their quality of life, and confidently step into the world. Today's Mnong youth can live stream zhuang dances, play gongs, or introduce village festivals on TikTok or Facebook, something unimaginable just a decade ago. However, modernization also comes with concerns. Young people leave the village for cities, becoming disconnected from their native language, traditional clothing, shuang dance, and gong playing. Festival commercialization causes some rituals to lose their original spiritual depth. Traditional crafts like weaving and basketry are at risk of disappearing due to a lack of successors. Nature is being harmed by deforestation, hydroelectric dams, and road construction, making it harder for the Mnong to live in harmony with the forest as they once did. Elders sitting by the fire often sigh. The children now prefer t-shirts with prints to embroidered skirts, electronic music to gongs and zhuang. While not inherently bad without intentional preservation, Mnong cultural heritage may gradually fade away. Amid these tides of change, many Mnong individuals continue to quietly safeguard their cultural essence. Village elders still tell folk tales to children every night. Artisans teach gong playing and zhuang dancing to the younger generation. Elderly women pass on the art of traditional weaving to their descendants. Young people after university return to the village as cultural officers, Mnong language teachers, or tour guides with a local flair. They are the bridges between past and present, tradition and development, keeping alive the flame of ancient hearths and breathing new life into it. Some Mnong community models have successfully blended tradition with contemporary approaches. Bunor Community Tourism Village, Duc Nong. where visitors can wear Mnong attire, sleep in stilt houses, eat komlam, drink ruar khan, and join authentic gong dances, not just watch performances. Mnong Weaving Cooperative in Duc Glong produces bags, scarves, and wallets with traditional patterns and modern designs, sold domestically and internationally. Mnong Youth Gong and Zhong Club, where children learn to play gongs and dance as their ancestors once did. These examples show that Mnong culture is far from outdated. When told in the right way and brought to life with genuine emotion, it still touches hearts, both Mnong and non-Mnong. To preserve and promote Mnong culture in the modern era, collaboration is essential. Government. Provide preservation policies, train artisans, and organize authentic cultural festivals that are not merely ceremonial. Mnong communities must take active responsibility in preserving language, rituals, customs, and traditional crafts. Every person is a storyteller for future generations. Youth. As key inheritors, they possess modern knowledge, connectivity, and creativity. If properly inspired, they will carry Mnong culture farther than ever before. The Mnong people today no longer live solely in the forest. They have stepped out into the world. They study, work, and travel far. But wherever they go, the most important thing is to keep alive the soul of the mountains and forests, the cultural values that nurtured them from birth. Because when the gongs fall silent, when stories are no longer told, when traditional clothes hang only in museums, that is when the Mnong risk losing their very identity. Thus, the transformation of the Mnong is not about abandoning the past, but about carrying its spirit into the new winds, with strength, pride, and a deep sense of self. Amidst the beloved-shaped land of Vietnam, home to 54 ethnic groups who have lived peacefully and supported one another through millennia, Mnong people have affirmed their cultural identity, place, and quiet yet profound contributions within the great family of Vietnamese ethnicities. Beyond preserving their own traditions, the Mnong actively engage in cultural exchange, learning and sharing to help create a rich and vibrant cultural tapestry of the nation. Without ostentation or loud declarations, the Mnong carry within themselves a part of the forest's soul deeply rooted in ethnic identity. This is reflected in their gong dances, which contribute to the Central Highlands cultural space, recognized as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO. Their vivid traditional festivals, such as the New Rice Ceremony, Buffalo Stabbing Festival, and Village Worship Ceremony, which captivate both Vietnamese and international audiences. Their traditional crafts, brocade weaving, bamboo basketry, and ruarkan, fermented rice wine, which are gradually being commercialized to aid in local economic development. Their folklore and epic tales, such as Dam Noi, the Sun Goddess, or the Forest Keeper, which enrich Vietnam's treasure trove of oral literature. The Mnong not only protect their heritage, but also contribute to the collective Vietnamese culture like a verdant forest branch cooling and enriching the entire national landscape. Among the King, Thai, Nung, Hmong, and other ethnic groups, the Mnong are often remembered with affection, respect, and admiration. The Mnong are widely recognized as sincere and kind-hearted. Whether a farmer, village elder, youth, or woman, the Mnong always welcome guests with warmth and genuine hospitality. Hardworking and resilient, from dawn till dusk, they tend upland fields, plant rice, weave baskets, raise livestock, and craft textiles without a single complaint. Respectful of nature, they avoid reckless deforestation, overhunting, or overexploitation, believing that the forest is a mother and streams are siblings. Community-oriented and harmonious, No one in a Mnong village goes hungry because everyone helps one another. During festivals, every one local or guest is welcome to join in. The Mnong never see themselves as different, but rather as an inseparable part of the Vietnamese nation, carrying both pride and responsibility. Cultural exchange, a bridge of understanding and affection. In recent years, cultural exchange between the Mnong and other ethnic groups has flourished. The Vietnamese Ethnic Culture Day, often held at the Vietnam National Village for Ethnic Culture and Tourism in Dong Mo, Son Thai, features the Mnong showcasing gong performances, brocade weaving, and rice wine making. The gong festivals in Gia Lai, Dak Lak, and Dak Nong gather many Mnong troops who perform and interact with other ethnic groups like the A Day, Gia Rai, and Bana. Television programs and documentaries about the Mnong have become more prevalent, helping the kin and others better understand Mnong beliefs, traditions, and everyday life. Cultural exchange is not merely entertainment, it is a vital bridge for mutual understanding, trust, and sustainable development. Language has become a central issue in cultural exchange. Mnong is the mother tongue of hundreds of thousands, but it faces decline as fewer young people use it. Fortunately, various preservation initiatives have emerged. Some schools in Mnong regions now offer bilingual education, Vietnamese and Mnong. Mnong language learning materials have been compiled and distributed locally. Storytelling and poetry competitions in Mnong have been held to reignite young people's love for their native language. Preserving a language means preserving the entire world of culture that accompanies it, and the Mnong are striving each day to ensure their voice is not lost in the digital age. Although living in remote mountainous areas, the Mnong have always played a significant role in national development and protection. During wartime, many Mnong joined the revolution, protected the Ho Chi Minh Trail, hid soldiers, and provided food. In peacetime, they actively participate in elections, build new rural communities, maintain security, protect forests, and develop cultural tourism. Today, many young Mnong serve as teachers, doctors, police officers, commune officials, and engineers, contributing to national development with both knowledge and heart. This spirit is a living testament to the power of unity in diversity, where each ethnic group is a beautiful flower, enriching the collective Vietnamese garden. If a Mnong village is likened to an ancient tree standing tall amidst the forest, then Mnong women are its roots quietly nurturing every branch and fruit. Though they may not always stand on ceremonial stages or hold decision-making roles in village councils, Mnong women are the soul of the family, the keepers and transmitters of cultural heritage through every thread of fabric, every meal, every lullaby, and every folk tale. In many Mnong subgroups, especially the Mnong Ram, Mnong Pre, and Mnong Chil matrilineal traditions were once widespread. In these communities, women are the center of the household, husbands move in with the wife's family, and children carry the mother's surname. Property is usually passed from mothers to daughters, particularly the youngest daughter, who stays to care for her aging parents. Women play active roles in ancestral rituals and are often entrusted with sacred heirlooms such as jars of rice, wine, traditional brocade fabrics, and ritual offerings. Though they may not wield political authority like village elders, Mnong women make crucial decisions in marriage arrangements, manage household finances, and raise children with great care and wisdom. Before the sun rises over the mountain peaks, Mnong women are already awake attending the fire, cooking breakfast, fetching water, and preparing the day's meals. Then they head to the fields, digging, sowing seeds, harvesting corn, gathering bamboo shoots, or collecting firewood. In the evening, they return to cook, do laundry, teach their children, and weave fabric by the fire. Some even squeeze in time to weave baskets, braid ropes, or embroider skirts to sell or barter for daily necessities. These tasks are far from easy, yet Mnong women carry them out with quiet perseverance, without complaint, out of love and duty to their families and communities. Mnong women are often called living museums of their people's culture. They are the ones who weave traditional brocade with patterns of suns, rivers, and mountains, using skills and memories passed down from mothers and grandmothers. Teach their children the Mnong language, lullabies, folk stories, customary laws, and traditional values. Prepare traditional dishes like bamboo rice, comb lamb, bitter eggplant soup, grilled chicken, and rice wine, both for festivals and everyday life. Participate in zhuang dances and ceremonial singing, helping preserve folk performing arts. They may not stand at podiums or write books, but their daily lives are living lesson-san unbroken journey of cultural transmission. In every Mnong stilt house, the fire is placed in the center of the home and the mother is its keeper. This fire is not just for cooking. It warms the house, gathers the family, heals wounds, and spreads love. The mother is the first to teach children right from wrong, how to greet elders, how to share with siblings and neighbors. When a child is ill, she stays up all night preparing herbal remedies. When guests arrive, she organizes the offerings, arranges seats, and gently connects family members with the community. In Mnong consciousness, the mother symbolizes unwavering strength, silent but vast, like the earth. Today, the role of Mnong women extends far beyond the village. Many have become teachers, nurses, local officials, entrepreneurs helping transform their communities. Skilled artisans, cooperative members, and businesswomen expanding markets for brocade, rice, wine, and organic produce. Community tourism leaders serving as guides, cooks, or cultural performers, showcasing zhuang dances to visitors. Active members of women's unions and cultural clubs preserving their language, preventing domestic violence, and teaching daughters to value themselves and their heritage. Modern Mnong women do not abandon their roots, they honor them, transforming cultural identity into strength as they step out into the world. Perhaps the greatest achievement of Mnong women is keeping the younger generation connected to their roots. In every hand-woven skirt, every handful of bamboo rice, every tale of ancestors told by the fire, there lies immense dedication, love, and resilience from the mothers and sisters of the great forest. It is these seemingly ordinary women who are shaping the future of their people. They preserve old ways but adapt with the new. They may work quietly, but their voices echo through every home, every generation. Through the past 11 chapters, we have wandered along crystal-clear streams in the vast central highlands, listened to the echoing gongs in the deep forests, gathered around the fire for bedtime tales, joined in joyful festivals, admired hand-woven brocade, and immersed ourselves in the heartbeat of a kind, resilient, and culturally rich community, the Mnong. Though the Mnong account for only a small portion of Vietnam's total population, they are among the most representative ethnic groups of the Central Highlands cultural space, a living, precious heritage recognized by UNESCO. In every tradition, every song, every woven textile and jar of rice wine, generations of Mnong people have instilled their beliefs, wisdom, way of life, and love for nature and humanity. The Mnong may not have bustling cities, high-rise buildings, or industrial zones, but they have the forest, the gongs, the old tales, and above all, a distinct identity preserved through everyday life. Like a tree that needs strong roots to grow tall, The Mnong today are gradually transforming, holding onto their soul while embracing the new. Young people pursue education and work to build a better future for their homeland. Women start businesses, preserve traditional crafts, and bring local products to wider markets. Village elders and artisans pass down their culture, keeping the lifeline of the Mnong spirit alive. Cooperatives and community tourism models help villagers earn a living while preserving Mnong values. They understand that development does not mean giving up who they are. Cultural identity is their most precious capital as they step confidently into the wider world. The story of the Mnong is not just the story of a single ethnic group, it is part of the vibrant mosaic of Vietnam. In today's era of integration, cultural diversity is not only what defines a nationality, is also a vital resource for sustainable development. The Mnong, like the King, Thai, Chum, Dao, and many others, form a stream within the great river of Vietnamese culture. When each group preserves its unique identity, it enriches the whole country. No one is the same, but all share a love for their homeland, a will to protect their roots, and a deep yearning to live in harmony with nature and fellow human beings. Perhaps 12,000 words are still not enough to fully express the depth of Mnong culture, customs, and daily life. But we have come to realize one thing. The Mnong are not just people living in the forest, they are part of the forest's very soul. They are the gongs calling the spirits of harvest, the fire that has warmed generations, the Juang dance of love and unity, the patient, gentle hearts rooted deep in the red earth of the Central Highlands. We hope that when you finish reading this, you will carry with you a fragment of the Mnong spirit. It is sound of the gong, an image, or a tale. And you will remember that even in a fast-changing world, there are still communities living slowly, steadily, and beautifully just like the Mnong.